Hi folks, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be doing another mail day. It's been a while since I've done one of these because if you may or may not know, we have been having a Canada Post strike. Again, we've had another Canada Post strike, so a lot of my mail is stuck in customs. The sellers have not shipped it to me yet because they have told me in advance that, you know, there's a strike going on, so I don't want to send you your mail because I don't want it to get stuck and lost in customs. So a lot of the stuff that I have ordered, I ordered it a few days before the strike, so I don't know if it's going to get here or if it's just going to get lost. So I have to cross my fingers and hope that a lot of the stuff that I ordered doesn't get lost because, oh man, I have a lot of good stuff coming in the mail. But here's some of the stuff that has actually come during the strike, some of it that came before the strike. I just like to let all my mail pile up so I can show it to you guys in one video to, you know, like make it interesting and stuff. We primarily have a lot of CDs, and let's just get the non-CD thing out of the way. You guys already saw me unbox this, but since it came in the mail, I decided I'd show it to you guys anyway. Hundreds of Beavers on Blu-ray. Incredible film, I love it. I did hear that the co-producer and main actor of this film, Ryland Brixton Colt Hughes, is making another film, and it's apparently his last film, which it's sad to hear, but it's called Oriental Snatch. He has a fundraiser up currently, so if you guys want to go and donate to make the film happen, you should. As of right now, they've have raised like $100,000, I think, which is out of like a $1 million goal. That's actually kind of good. Like I can confidently say that this film will happen. But yeah, Hundreds of Beavers on Blu-ray, one of the best films ever made, one of the funniest and greatest films you'll ever see in your life. It's free on YouTube, it's free on Tubi, it's on Apple TV. There's no excuse to not watch it, so go watch it. Putting it back.
Oh, and I also forgot to mention that I also got the Ren and Stimpy Lost Episodes, aka Adult Party Cartoon DVD in the mail. I did a whole unboxing of this, so if you guys want to see more and a more in-depth look of this DVD, you can. But here it is, the Ren and Stimpy Adult Party Cartoon DVD. The infamous Adult Party Cartoon that everyone hates. Everyone says it's so bad, but it really isn't as bad as people chalk it up to. But yeah, just forgot to show it, but there it is.
Okay, let's start with the CDs. First up, we have Uriah Deep with Very Ave Very Ambo. This is a classic rock album that really did do a number on the metal and sort of death metal scene. Later on, it sort of paved the way, you know, the same way that Black Sabbath did for death metal and all that stuff. What the Beatles did for metal with Helter Skelter and all that. Great album, classic. I do recommend you listen to it. Next up, we have the Beatles 1. This is the compilation album that they released in 2000. There's all the tracks that it features right there. So a lot from all across their catalog. Love Me Do, I Want to Hold Your Hand, Help, Yesterday, Yellow Submarine, Lady Madonna, Come Together, Let It Be. So just like if you really want to get into the Beatles, especially some of their classicer, well, they are all classic, but some of their older stuff like Rubber Soul, Please Please Me, you know, the pre-White Album and Abbey Road album, although this does feature Come Together, so technically not pre-Abbey Road, but still pre a lot of their later like finaler stuff. So yeah, great album, very cheap, very cheap. You can find this on eBay for like, I got this for like $6, so do not pass up on this. It's great. Next up, we have a very cool rare item in the Pink Floyd catalog. Is there anybody out there This is the live album for The Wall, the one of the many live performances that they did for The Wall. But this is specifically the Is There Anybody There 1980 to 81, but this was released in 2000. This specific Is There Anybody Out There? Amazing performance. Probably the best live performance. I think the best live performance of The Wall. It is a 2-disc set, complete with both manuals and everything. It does feature a couple tracks, a couple new gigs that weren't officially on the original Wall LP. Nice design there. Oops. There's the other booklet with and all this features like screenshots from the actual show, from the performance. So yeah, they built a wall during the live performance and played clips of the film on the wall, and then they broke the wall. Look at that. That's one of my favorite shots of the whole performance, is the giant pig. That is scary but awesome. So yeah, very good. Very rare to find on CD. Well, not very extremely, but like, you will be shelling out over $30 to $50 for this. I was lucky enough to find it for a lot less than that. And for the long box, like the longer box, the one that's like tall, you will be shelling out like over $100, $200 for that. So I'm very happy to have this, especially since for whatever reason this album was taken officially off of YouTube and Spotify, meaning the official uploads have been just removed. But you can find the re-uploads on YouTube. You can find it on the Internet Archive. It's very easy to listen to online, so you should do that, because it's kind of a obscure, kind of coveted Pink Floyd joint. Keeping up with Pink Floyd and live performances, Pulse. This is the Pulse. Unfortunately, it's not the one that has the blinking light, although I don't think so. I don't see where they would put the light on here. Yeah, it's just the regular one. Still, I don't care. I'm so happy to... This is my favorite live performance of anything ever. Like, not even just Pink Floyd related. Not even, like... Yeah, not just Pink Floyd related, but in general, this is the best live performance of all time. The tracks are insane. Like, you've got songs from The Wall. Unfortunately, nothing from Animals, which sucks. I wish they had performed more Animal stuff when they were more active. They performed the entirety of Dark Side of the Moon, so, you know, that's cool. I like it. This is the booklet release with the discs that are like that. I don't like that because they can slip out really easily. And yeah, but yeah, complete booklet, technically a digibook then, and disc 2. Very cool. Very cool. Next up, we have Pink Floyd's A Momentary Lapse of Reason. This was the first album that was made after Roger Waters left Pink Floyd and did solo stuff. So this was the album that preceded the final cut. I think it is better than the final cut, and it is very good for a post Roger Waters Pink Floyd album. Not as good as The Division Bell, but certainly better than The Endless River. Yeah, I really like A Momentary Lapse of Reason. It is still peak Pink Floyd. So yeah. If you're skeptical whether or not to listen to it because you're a fan of the Roger Waters era, please do yourself a favor and listen to it. It's great. Next up, we have Pink Floyd's Ummagumma, the live album. This is... So, Ummagumma was released with 2 albums. The live album, this one, and the studio album, which I don't have the studio album yet because it is kind of not incredibly extremely rare, but you know, I'm waiting to find one for not only a good price, but one that's in good condition too. But yeah, I think this is one of the greatest live performances that Pink Floyd ever did. Astronomy, Demean, Careful with That Axe, Eugene, Set the Controls for the Heart of the Sun, and A Saucer Full of Secrets. Only 4 tracks. Comes out to around 40 minutes, but it is still very much worth listening to, especially if you love classic Pink Floyd and if you love amazing live performances, because this is one of them. This is like one of the greatest ones ever. Very raw. A lot of raw emotion went into this one. Next up we have Björk's Post. This is my favorite Björk album. It's just so... I don't know if I'd say experimental, but it's certainly out there in terms of its sound and all that. Yeah. not much to say about it. It's awesome. I love Björk. There's a track list. I love the back of this. I love the design of it. It's very it reminds me of Frutiger Arrow, that core that everyone is obsessed with. But this is like pre-Frutiger Arrow or post. I don't know. Anyways, great album. Love Björk. So yeah, if you haven't listened to it, you should listen to it. And finally, last but not least, we have Pink Floyd's A Collection of Great Dance Songs. This is just a compilation album. I already showed you guys the cassette of this. It's basically the same thing, just on CD. 6 tracks, One of These Days, Money, Sheep, Shine On You, Crazy Diamond, Wish You Were Here, and Another Brick in the Wall Part 2. Decent compilation album. I think this was like I said in the cassette, when I showed you guys the cassette, I think this was a budget release, or so, you don't have a lot of money, you still want to buy a Pink Floyd record, so just buy this. The commercial for it literally says, if you haven't got money, this is the album for you. So yeah, pretty good though. No complaints. It is good old Pink Floyd. A lot of variation in this compilation. Echoes, Dark Side of the Moon, Animals, Wish You Were Here, The Wall. A lot of you get a little bit of taste of everything. I kind of do think they could have made it a little bit like 8 tracks or even 7 tracks, but like I said, I think this was a budget release, so they had to keep it short. Yeah, look at that. Epic. And yeah, that's it for today's video, guys. Hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next video, whenever the Canada Post strike stops and I get the rest of the mail that I ordered. Hopefully none of it gets lost in customs, because I'll have to go through a huge hassle of contacting the seller, and then I don't end up getting my order. And a lot of the stuff they only had one of, so I will not be able to order it again. So kind of worried about that. But hope to God that doesn't happen, because I have a lot of stuff that I'm anticipating for, and if it gets lost in customs, oh boy, I'm gonna be livid. I'm gonna be livid. I didn't even know the post strike was going on when I ordered this. I think it was like a few days before the post strike was happening, so I made the horrible, but some of the sellers were some of the sellers were kind enough to say, hey, I know the strike's going on, so can I hold on to your package for now until the strike stops and I can send it to you? And I'm like, that's a great idea. So yeah. Well, I'll tell you guys how that ends up. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.